Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Today we're looking at an easy way to generate mock data within Excel itself and how to adjust it so that it fits your purposes correctly. In the last video, I showed you how to calculate customer satisfaction score, and in order to do that, we used some mock data that I generated in Excel. It had a client list, and then I generated using random numbers the ratings for each of the 4 steps for those clients. And the idea was that I didn't just want to use a random number between 1 and 5 for our rating. I wanted this to be tailored so that it would help me convey a message. I wanted to generate the data in such a way that would allow me to have the average spiking, but at the same time, the percentage of 4s and 5s dropping down. That's what I needed to make my point. And I got a few questions about where did I find the data that would support this, if it was an actual data set or something like that. And I just thought that I'll show you my process for generating the random data specifically for this scenario. And by the way, if you would want to see more videos on generating random financial data or customer data or whatever in Excel, drop a comment below and I might do more of those. Okay, let's open Excel and dive straight into it. I just generated some random names and emails from an online place called Mockaroo, and I have a video on Mockaroo. It's a really great tool, but it's more geared towards data scientists, and I don't think it always gives me the right tools to generate the numerical part of the data. So what I want to do here is I want to generate different ratings between 1 and 5 for each different step in our customer journey. Let me add a few lines here because we're going to be doing some working calculations. Those are going to be our ratings, and we'll add two calculations here after just a bit. So what I want is for each of those to be between 1 and 5. What I can do easily is just generate a rand between number between 1 and 5 and copy this down. Copy this to the side, and something to know about random numbers is that every time a cell recalculates, it would recalculate all those numbers. The idea is that I don't want just to have the random numbers. I want to make a point with my data, and the point I want to make is that customer satisfaction score, the way it's calculated, is better than just calculating average numbers. And this has nothing to do with this video. If you're not familiar with what customer satisfaction score is, this doesn't matter. My previous video explains that if you want to take a look. But the idea here is how to manipulate this random data easily in Excel to make sure that it can help us achieve our purpose. So I need 2 calculations here. Average rating, which is pretty straightforward. It's just going to be the average of all those. Okay, and I also want my customer satisfaction score. And the customer satisfaction score is calculated as the percentage of satisfied customers out of the total. We consider satisfied to be 4 and 5 ratings. So we pretty much need to count everyone that has a 4 or 5 and divide it over the total count. So I'm going to use a count ifs. I want to count everything here where it's above 3, so it's 4 or 5. And I want to divide that over the total count. Copy that to the side and format it as a percentage. What I want to do is I want to convey the point that this is actually a better metric, and sometimes averages can be misleading. So in order to do that, I need this number to not correlate as good as they correlate here. So the percentage to drop, but at the same time have the average rating actually increase. First thing I need to do is make sure that the ratings are reasonable, because this is a really low customer satisfaction score. I need to bring it to maybe 80. What I do is there are a lot of formulas to do different kinds of distributions. So let's say we can do a triangular distribution where it's between 1 and 5, but it leans toward 4 or something like that. But I always find those quite complex. So I usually just do a combination of rank between functions. So what I can do here is, let's say, if rank between 1 and 10 is above 5, so if it's above 50% of the times, then I want this to be a 5. Otherwise, I want it to just be a rank between 1 and 5. Let's see how that works. Okay, copy that down, and you can see that we already got quite a better percentage. And if we keep refreshing with F9, you can do that by the way, it gets quite consistently around 70, but that's not good enough. So let's add something to increase our force. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. So if it's above 5, give me 5. Otherwise, I'm just gonna do if rank between 1 and 10 is above, let's say, 6, so a 40% chance, give me a 4. Otherwise, give me rank between 1 and 5. Okay, let's see if we copy that down. We're now at 85%, which is pretty high. So what I can do here is just make sure that this is 7. And let's try bringing this up to 6. So we're decreasing the cases where it's going to be stuck with 5 or 4. Okay, 74 seems quite reasonable. 75, 76. Okay, I think I think the average is around 75, so this is a good formula. Okay, let's copy that to the side with Control R, and now we have a pretty consistent ratings. What we want to do is get those to actually increase a bit, but at the same time I want the customer satisfaction score to drop. I'm just gonna do a few iterations, or maybe I'll get a case where each next one increases a bit. Yeah. Okay, those increase a bit. What I can do here is I'm just gonna make all those values, copy them and paste them as values, and then I'm just gonna reorder them a bit. So I'll pretty much just grab those here, cut and paste, and grab those here and move them here. So now we have a consistent growth, and of course we need to fix our steps. And the next thing I want to do is make sure that although this is like increasing a bit, and you can see even here you can see already that that actually, even though this is the same average rating, the percentage is different. What we can do is we can just flip those and use that, but I wanna make it a bit more obvious that that it's dropping. So let's just bring this 75 below. Start increasing once so that the average increases a bit. So let's say this one. It's a bit of a manual work, but for me it's like the easiest way to play around with the numbers and generate what I need. Plus we don't have so many rows in our data set. Okay, let's change all those to 2 and Control Enter to replace all of them. And you can see now that we got to 3.99 average at 75.4%. So how do we bring down the percentage? The way to do that is pretty much to move things from 4s and 5s to 3s and 2s. So what I can do is I can select a few 4s to start with. And what I'll do is I'll bring those to 3s and see how this works. Because the way customer satisfaction score is calculated, if we move them from 4s to 3s, it would actually influence the percentage quite a lot, because 4s are included in this and 3s aren't. Okay, I think this may be enough. So let's bring those all to 3, and yeah, we lost just a little bit of the average, but we lost a huge percentage. So what I want to do here is I'm actually going to bring a few of the 5s to 3 as well. Okay, now we have quite a significant drop in percentage. And what we need to do now is bring this back up a bit. So I'm going to select a bunch of 2s and make them 3s. Yeah, that didn't do a whole lot. So let's just convert a bunch of 1s. Let's make those to 3s. And let's convert also a bunch of 1s to 2s. Yeah, I just want it to be slightly higher. So maybe a few more. Okay, and that's it. In just a few minutes, I was able to achieve my objective for the data set that I want to present. Because basically what I want to do here is say, okay, this is increasing the easy way to calculate it, but if you actually look at the customer satisfaction score and not just at the rating, you can see that the portion of satisfied customers drops even though your average rating increases. And this is due to the fact that you got less 1s here and more 2s and 3s than compared to before. But this doesn't actually help you a lot, because we need to be focusing not on changing 1 to 2, but 1 to 4 or 5. That's my process of generating random or quote-unquote random data for my videos whenever I want to convey a specific message and I want the data set to look in a specific matter. I understand this is by no way applicable to every situation, but I've successfully used this in like 80 to 90% of the mock data that I create in order to produce the videos. As you see, it's really easy to generate random data, which you can then use to illustrate different concepts in the realms of pretty much anything that requires data. There's so many statistical models and different distributions that you can use, and a lot of those formulas are within Excel, or they can be achieved in Excel somehow. But most of those are quite complex, and at the beginning, when I was creating data for my videos, I would usually try to implement one of those and spend like hours and hours making it work. But lately, I've been just using simple formulas, and rand between, the one you saw, is my favorite, my go-to formula that I can use for pretty much any kind of data to generate it. And I found out that just by trying to think differently about what you want to achieve, you can actually find a pretty simple and neat solution to almost any problem. Okay, that's all I had for you today, guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, and maybe even punch the bell icon to receive notifications every time I upload a new video. Till then, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. At an easy way to from their customer journey. It had some it had some clients that I downloaded from and really simple solutions to